To receive coaching on how to create and grow a YouTube channel, invest in real estate, or achieve financial freedom, visit cashnow.video. Hey, what's up guys? John here. What I see happening right now in the housing market, it's going to be crazy because this is unbelievable. It's never happened before in history. And I'm going to backtrack and kind of just lay out how this is, what's going to happen, how this is all going to work. So generally when you list a house for sale, let's just say it's $1 million home, just for easy math for this example. A normal situation, you would pay 5% commission, roughly 2.5% to the agent in which you chose to list the property, and then about 2.5% to the other buyer's agent. So just in realtor fees, about $50,000. $50,000, right? Then about 1.25% tax, just property transfer tax, and then 1% to an escrow, or maybe a little bit less than 1%, but you're all in about 7%. So in $1 million property, you just paid $70,000. $70,000. That is a ton of money. That is a ton of money. And what are we stepping into? We're stepping into a high interest rate environment, an environment in which it costs more to borrow money, and an environment where people really can't afford what they could have afforded 2 years ago, right? So people are going to be penny pinching. And how is this all going to play out? What do I think is going to happen? Well, two unique situations. One is that now we're making all decisions online, all decisions. Whether we're ordering fast food on DoorDash, one of these apps, or we're buying a table or a television on Amazon, we're doing everything online. The last couple of years have really pushed everyone into a place to where they feel much more comfortable to make these decisions. And what are these large corporations doing? They're gathering more and more data on us. They know exactly how much debt we have, what our credit score is. They know what we can afford. They know if the job in which we used to qualify for a mortgage will be relevant in a year or 2 years or 3 years. They're building up this data. All of this data is going to be used to solicit home sellers. They're going to be going after home sellers all throughout the country and going after them one by one as a targeted approach. And they're going to be able to do this in a very unique way, a way in which they can probably guarantee a higher net sales price than most realtors, right? Than most real estate agents could provide, because the realtors they're taking 7% really when they go through that entire process. They may be able to do so well and then be able to pay all cash and close in 17 days or 14 days or 60 days or 90 days, however long that the home seller wants. They will likely be able to provide that seamless all cash closing and be able to help them move into their new place, right? They're going to be able to streamline this whole process. This, I think, is going to have a huge and profound impact on real estate agents as well as mortgage lenders, because mortgage lenders are changing as a whole. We're seeing massive layoffs across all big banks, lending institutions right now, mortgage lenders. But what I see happening here that's going to be unique is the next 5 years. I think we're going to see about half of realtors go completely gone, just gone, disappear. And then over the following 5 years, what I think is ultimately going to be happening is I think that 90% of these realtors are going to be basically gone. So we might be stuck with maybe 10%. That's basically what's going to happen. 10% will actually stick. So if 10% are going to stick, then what I think is likely going to happen is those 10% are going to likely offer a white glove type of service to more high-end luxury real estate, and then people are just going to be buying and selling these properties from individual owners. But this is where it's going to get kind of crazy, kind of unique, is that these home buyers that are buying out these properties, iBuyer, what Amazon is doing. Amazon is doing something really, really unique, which is where they're buying properties. They're buying these properties, paying all cash, and then they're essentially making these properties go public like a company on the NASDAQ, right? When they put it on the stock exchange and they're selling shares, that's exactly what they are doing now. And they'll buy a property for $200,000 or $400,000, and then they'll sell 20,000 shares at, hypothetically $15, right? And people will buy shares of the house, and then they get a monthly residual income in relation to how much they've invested into the property. And then in a 5 to 7 year window, when Amazon sells the property, if they sell for profit, they would get their percentage in profit. Very interesting, very unique. And Amazon is, Amazon's going to be a leader in this. Amazon's going to dominate. Open Doors is going to dominate. There's going to be so many private equity firms, so many companies going out there that want to streamline this process because they know that a traditional real estate transaction is not, as cost effective as it should be, and it's not as seamless and effortless as it should be. It's kind of a hassle to hire a realtor and list your property for sale and go through the whole process, not knowing if the buyer's actually going to be able to get the loan, not knowing if the buyer's actually going to close on the transaction. They're going to be able to just do this. And as this begins to happen and these corporations begin to gobble up market share, a couple other things are going to happen. One is they're never going to list their properties on the open market where they'd have to pay a realtor. They're just not going to do it. They're going to sell it amongst themselves, in packs or packages of 10,000 or 5,000 homes at a piece. That's what they're going to do. And then also what they're also going to be doing here is they're going to be able to turn these homes into rentals. And then when they turn these homes into rentals, if they own 50% or 75% of the housing stock over the next decade, they're going to be forcing more of a roommate type of dorm room style living. That for sure will happen. It's already happening right now in Northern California. There's a company out there that's taking a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, looks about 1,600 square feet, putting 13 people inside of this property, all bunk bed scenarios, right? And they're charging $800 a bed. So $800 a bed per month, 13 people. You do the numbers, right? If they were to rent that property out just to one family, let's say a husband and wife and 2.5 kids, they'd probably get 35, 40% of that rent revenue. So when these big corporations start to dominate and start to really take over housing, what I think is that's going to happen is that they will demand much higher rents, or they're going to try to push for a quote-unquote lower cost of living to help everyday Americans be able to afford, to combat inequality, right? So they're going to do this, and they're going to, offer these roommate situations for $800 or $700 or whatever they're going to offer. And this is also going to do a couple things. One, it's going to bring vacancies to almost zero because it's going to be nearly impossible for a 3-bedroom house to ever go fully vacant if you have 8 roommates or 10 roommates or however many roommates, right? They're going to be pushing this, I guarantee you, because what do corporations do? They maximize profits. And this is the best way to maximize profits. You could probably almost triple rent by doing it this way. So there's no doubt that they're not going to do this. They're going to push this situation. I can almost guarantee it. So when I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, well, Amazon's getting involved, Open Door, all these big corporations are going after the American dream. And then we look at this tech revolution that's happening right now. Over the next 3 years, like I've said, I said everyone has 3 years to make a fortune, because after that, technology, robotics, AI, all the wealth is going to be basically funneled to the top, and it's going to be much, much, much more challenging to be able to get your hands on it. So the next 3 years, this is the time where people really need to come up with a strong game plan, or a really, really good game plan, because after that, I think it's going to be a wrap. Even Elon Musk came out and said that his Tesla bot, the first Tesla bot, is going to be available in the next 3 months, right? What does that mean? To me, that means that, it's not unrealistic to say that by 2024 or 2025, we're not going to see Tesla bots at a supermarket, right? This is the direction in which the world's going to be going. All the wealth is going to go there. They're not going to want to sit and hold depreciating fiat currency and that's backed by nothing here in America. They're going to want to put it into hard real assets such as land. And if you look at, just how bad inflation is, what the real cost of things are today, you could buy a $300,000 house, right? $300,000 house, or $350,000, $400,000, whatever, right? The land alone is probably worth $100,000, $150,000. And the cost now to rebuild that property is probably, 2x what it would cost, 15 years ago, right? And so the cost is going through the roof to build it. Labor costs are going up. Everything is going up. And if they can buy it for 50% below the replacement value and throw tenants in there and have them pay a much higher rent, they're likely going to continue to do that, right? And so this is what's going to happen. This is the moment. Build out a strong plan. Real estate is about to go through a massive change. We're going to see change unlike anyone can imagine over the next, few years. This is the time to build out a plan. Without doubt, we are going to see this. What do you think about this entire situation? Do you see a scenario in which Amazon, it's a small, little subsidiary that Amazon owns now. I think they have like $17 million in assets under management, which is nothing. But you know how Amazon is. They'll try something very small, and then try something very small, and then before you know it, the next time it's massive, and then the time after that it's even bigger, and then it just grows and grows. They have so much money. What are they going to do with this money? They're going to allocate it in real estate. They're going to allocate it in infrastructure. They're going to allocate it in other ways in which they have further control, right? That's what they're going to do. They're not just going to sit on these fiat dollars. This is going to be huge. Plan for this. I know I am. Subscribe. Consider subscribing on my second channel. It's going to be an interactive call-in show this upcoming week. I'm really looking forward to it. And if you need help improving your credit score, if you want to invest in real estate when market crashes, or you want to get started on YouTube, cashnow.video. That's cashnow.video. And the link for my second channel is pinned down below, top comment. And my LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything's in the banner. I'll catch you guys in the next video.